Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one, and welcome to the final episode of Teenagers in Space. Quick recap for you: Kat, disobeying orders and doing whatever the hell she wants as usual, has found Ark Vita, where the members of the Outward faction who survived the slaughter on board Ark Habitas appear, at first glance, to be living an idyllic existence in a Martian colonial paradise. The truth, of course, is that this colony is also doomed. They don't have the genetic diversity to survive beyond a generation or three, and they're completely at the mercy of the next equipment failure, which could see them all starving, suffocating, or running out of water. The big news, however, is that Isaac is here. Kat has finally been reunited with her father. He's completely delusional, of course, refusing to accept that this colony is just as doomed as the first one, and can't understand why his daughter wouldn't want to stay here and die with him. Before Kat can even give him the news that his other daughter, that's right, he had more than one, Claire, died in orbit, Isaac didn't even bother asking. Yeah, real father of the year material here. Isaac is drawn away by a commotion at the airlock. And it's here where the game surprises me yet again. I honestly did not expect to see this coming.
Sarah, how did you... No time. We need to hide. They're coming back. Where can we go? Quick.
Wow, look at Sarah taking her responsibilities as mission commander seriously.
In the closet. Quick.
Let me talk to Kathy about this. Kathy?
Kevin was certain, Isaac. It's Sarah Baker. She must have taken our rover back over here.
Kathy?
How did they even get here, Isaac? How did they find us?
She's gone.
What?
Kathy is gone.
Where did she go?
I don't know, but find her. Please. Now! Unison, my daughter, the intruder, are missing. Lock off the entrance and check every inch of the dome. Find them.
You okay?
I'm fine. Let's go.
Oh yeah, Isaac didn't bother telling anybody that the message that he sent back to Earth, which he also didn't tell any about, contained instructions for finding this place that only Kat would understand.
Sarah, I know what I did. I made it...
It's all right. I heard everything. I have one too, remember? We have to get back to Habitas. This place is swarming with...
Guys, I've got a bit of a situation over here.
Yeah?
Yeah, those colonists really don't like you stealing their rover. They're trying to get in.
Okay.
I broke the elevator stream point and threw up some barricades. Big brain move.
Be careful.
You need to get back here, or they're gonna stop us from leaving altogether.
Yep. We need to steal another rover, sneak past a ton of colonists.
We need to press on to Ark Vita.
And just for once, Sarah doesn't immediately reject a good idea just because it came from Kat.
Ryan, redirect Habitas' power to Vita and prep for launch. We are gonna head that way right now.
We're doing this? Okay, copy that. Heading to the MPT terminal now. Be careful out there. Both of you.
I saw a path on the way out.
Yeah, you okay?
Yep. I'll live. Let's go.
Now, you may at this point be thinking, well, why don't they all just sit down and have a chat and explain the reality of the situation of these colonists and why they have to return to Earth, because they're doomed if they stay. Well, remember, these are the people who murdered the last bunch of people that said, let's just sit down and have a chat and talk about returning to Earth. And a bunch of them are trying to break into Ark Habitas and stop Ryan from leaving. Remember that for later.
Quick, hide.
Can't leave the bioprinter unmanned this long. Someone needs to go back to the Ark and...
We'll have bigger problems if we don't find him. Now let's go.
I mean, it's entirely possible that these colonists are just going to peacefully restrain us and sit down and have a frank and open exchange of views, but it's also possible that they're not. So, yeah. Let's be cautious. It's almost as if this is exactly the kind of situation that Sarah thought they might need those guns for.
Okay, just give me 1 second. I think that facility leads to the Ark.
Looks like it, yeah.
How's our chances of just walking in without any hassle?
You're welcome to try. You go first.
Not good.
I was afraid of that.
Maybe there's another way in. There's a maintenance shaft that might get us there with a bit of a detour.
I Not sure I can handle more detours.
Maybe I can do something to create a diversion. But how? And where?
I'm not saying they should go in there guns blazing and just shoot everybody.
That's their pump regulator that controls the incoming oxygen from Ark Habitas.
You're right. Why?
Look, no one is wearing a pressurized suit. If I temporarily turn it off, everyone will be forced to suit up or get to safety. We could use that distraction to get you in there. I can use the maintenance tunnel to get to the facility unnoticed.
Kathy, I don't know about this.
I'll meet you at the entrance.
Okay. Good luck.
You don't have to actually shoot anybody, just the, oh look, bees. That's nice. Just the possibility that you might is often all that it takes to focus people's thoughts on slightly less aggressive options. Or failing that, you can just turn off their oxygen.
Kathy, I hope you're on any of these frequencies and that you're hearing this. Please stop running away. We are so close to having everything we want. Please, just stay here. I'm losing you again.
That's the pump, Ayla. Let's find the terminal and shut it down.
By the way, I don't know if you've realised, but just so we're all on the same page here, Kat's plan is to turn off the oxygen in order to get everybody to do what she wants. It's not the first time we've seen somebody tinkering with the environmental controls in this game, is it? Isaac and MacArthur did exactly that in order to resolve a little difference of opinion back on board Ark Habitas. Jingles, Isaac and MacArthur were deliberately trying to kill people. Kat isn't. Yeah, that's true. I suppose you could argue it all comes down to intent.
That didn't shut it down, it just moved those heat shields. Maybe we need to follow the pipes up, Ayla.
Isaac and MacArthur intended to kill a whole bunch of people. Kat does not. But that's a fairly academic point for anybody who dies as a result of what Kat's doing, whether she intended to kill anybody or not. She's aware that people could die. It's the very real threat of dying that Kat is counting on here in order to force everybody to get out of the way so she can get on board Ark Vita. It's a little ironic that she was taking the high ground with Sarah just the day before by throwing all of the guns away, and yet here she is threatening people's lives in order to get what she
That
wants.
doesn't work either.
What's the problem now, Kat?
Pipes. I don't think I have any other option.
This doesn't look like temporarily turning the oxygen off, Kat. This looks like permanently turning the oxygen off. And as quickly as that, Kat went from, well, this is a bit risky and it might kill people, but it's a chance I have to take, to, well, this is definitely going to kill people. Tough shit.
Atmospheric breach detected. Level 4 rupture. Please put on your pressurized suit and get to the nearest safety zone immediately.
Kathy, what the hell just happened?
I had no other choice. I'll meet you inside.
I had no choice. Really, about that. I feel like she did have a choice. She could have spent more than 2 seconds having a look at the equipment panel and figuring out a way to get this thing turned off and then back on again before just immediately taking a laser to all of the delicate equipment that keeps everybody alive in this colony running. But it's fine, she was in a hurry. She didn't have time to not kill a bunch of people. Now, I'm pretty sure the writers are doing this on purpose, and if so, well done to them. There are definite parallels here with other people on Mars before we arrived who did some really, really horrible things because they felt it was necessary and they didn't have any other choice.
I'm not gonna make it. Sarah, go up now. Go.
Kathy, it's almost done. The Ark can't.
The Ark can. Ryan's beaming power to it from Habitats. Yes, it is.
Listen to me, you can't do this. Not just to me, but to all these people. Don't leave.
We have to, Dad. I'm gonna find another way up there now.
Munda, please.
Just in case it hasn't sunk in yet as well, it's probably worth pointing out the implications of exactly what it is that they're trying to do here. Ryan is on board Ark Habitats, prepping it for launch and beaming reserve power here to Ark Vita in order to take it back to Earth. Habitats provides this colony with all of its oxygen and its reserve power, and Vita provides this colony with almost all of its food. They're going to kill everybody here. The only good news is that nobody here is going to die of starvation, because as soon as Altamita's fusion rockets fire up, remember it's parked right next to the habitat dome, everybody here is going to be dead in less than an hour.
You can't leave. Kathy!
I think you're going to find, Dad, that I can.
What are you doing? That vent takes you straight to the Tesla chambers. You're going
What
to
the
get
hell are the...
killed.
What are the Tesla chambers?
Remember, please. I don't want to lose you.
Alright. I'm kind of sorry I asked. What the hell? Oh, you bugger. That looks potentially fatal. Probably don't want to be caught standing under one of those. Right. Anyway, edited highlights to follow. Yeah, I know, astonishing. I didn't get through all of this intact on my first attempt. So, climb to the top of any one of these panels, and I do mean the top. You'll see why when we jump across. Get ready for the jump, and yep, not an awful lot to grab onto on the other side. That's why you need to be as high up as you possibly can. All the way up, and then get onto the platform, and we're at the first stage. Make sure you're not going to just fall all the way back down to where you were. And now get ready, running jump once that laser thingy comes out again. And we're going to jump on top of it. You could do it the other side as well. And then quickly, there we go. Shut up, Isaac. I'm busy. Over to here. And we're going to jump onto, there it is. And, crap. You see the problem? It's those pipes. So you need to be quick here, because you want to get onto that panel, and you can't afford to hang around because the pipes will knock you down. So jump across, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Actually, there's plenty of time, we can wait for it. This is going to take us around, plenty of time to get ready and get onto that panel, then get knocked down to the next stage below by the pipes. Anyway, I died a couple of times doing this. Oh really, Jingles? You do surprise us.
I promise you that I'll be better.
Do shut up, Isaac.
Never hurt us again.
You're not fooling anybody.
Are you hearing
You're
me?
not your moon bear anymore.
Kathy, please answer me.
Right, this is the first one of these climbing puzzles that I would say is actually kind of hard. All of the others have been a bit fairly logical once you figure them out, and certainly not difficult, but this one, there is no margin for error. So you can see what needs to be done. You have to climb up that rotating central column and jump to that circular ledge. But the column's rotating straight into those electrical beams. So you're not just climbing up, you're also climbing left to try to keep yourself away from the beams that you're about to get fried by on the right, which means that in practice there is very, very little time available for you to get up. I mean, if you make the slightest misstep, you're going to be too slow, and you won't make the jump, and you'll get fried by those beams. This is, I mean, it's a simple puzzle. You can see exactly what it is that you need to do. But seeing what you need to do and actually being able to do it are two completely different things. There is no margin for error on this one. It's the first genuinely tough one of these climbing puzzles that I've actually seen. The good news is, getting fried by the beams doesn't instantly kill you, it just hurts a bit. But it also knocks you down from the rotating column, straight back to square one, and you have to try and do the whole thing again. This took a few attempts, but I did eventually get it. Up we go. And then don't hang around, we're trying to stay as far over to the left as we possibly can while simultaneously climbing up. See how close those beams are getting on the right hand side. There is very little room for messing around here, and jump right at the last second. That's how tight it is. Right, hopefully that's the last one of those we're going to have to do, because that was not easy. Then again, we're right at the end of the game, and that's the first really hard climbing puzzle that it's given us, so I suppose I should be grateful. Now what? Hello, Dad. That's game over, by the way. if you let him catch you. Alright, forewarned is forearmed. So this time it's going to be through the door, take an immediate right turn, and screw you. I don't have to do what you say, you're not my real dad. Anyway.
Quick! Get inside. Alex, lock this door. They're trying to sabotage the Ark's thrusters. Okay, just a quadruple DES symmetric encryption that uses a 64-bit cipher key. You've got this.
Please, hear me out.
I'm done listening to you, asshole.
For a second.
I wonder if we can open the door and let him in. Let's not put that theory to the test.
You don't have to do this. This place, everything we've built. I can't go back to Earth. They'll lock me up and throw away the key. We'll be apart again.
Cap, Sarah, the colonists are inside the bridge.
The Arks need to stay here for the colony, but I need you to stay here for me. You're the only thing that's missing. Please, stay.
By the way, Daddy, Claire's dead. Yes, your other daughter. Yeah, the one that you didn't bother asking about.
I'm through. Got the launch sequence started. Start your engines.
I'll try.
Kathy, let's go. Cat.
I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry.
And yeah, if you think there are definite parallels here to what happened on the moon 8 years earlier, that's probably not an accident either.
Departure imminent.
Sarah, I'm coming to get you.
Well, I am trying to, but... Fine, there it is.
We're gonna make it. Hold on.
Yeah, those fusion thrusters pointing straight at the colony dome. Everybody's gonna die.
Hurry. Hey, Ada.
Now the question that you of course have to be asking yourself here is, has Isaac just had a change of heart and he's realised that his daughter is the most important thing, or has he just realised everybody's going to die here very, very soon once these arcs take off? Honey, honey, I love you. Don't go without me. And then, once again, this game retains the capacity to surprise me, because I didn't see this bit coming either. Sarah, proving that she's not the one-dimensional character that she's been made out to be this far, and she is actually capable of emotional growth. Once again, full credit to the writers. Very, very pleased to have my preconceptions about these characters challenged and proven wrong.
Automated launch protocol initiated. Start manual cross-check.
Yeah, there's nothing automated about this launch protocol. It's more just pressing buttons and moving sliders, and honestly, after what just happened, it's a bit of an anticlimax, and not particularly interesting to watch, so I'm just going to skip straight ahead to the launch. There goes Habitat. It looks like Ryan made it safely. I'm surprised they didn't actually show us these rocket thrusters tearing through the structure of that dome, because realistically it's what would happen, and I mean, we're basically killing everybody left behind because we've taken away all of their life support infrastructure. So I'm more than a little surprised that the development team didn't actually show us the hab dome getting ripped apart by the blast from these thrusters on takeoff, because, you know, they're all dead anyway. Meanwhile, on the way back to Earth.
It's good to hear your voice. What happened to the Unison colonists?
It's all worked out and taken care of.
Good. I love you, Imzadi.
I love you too.
He made it. I'm so sorry, Sarah, for everything.
It's alright, Kat. You knew it was right in the end. That's what matters.
Why did you come after me?
I don't know. If you're looking for Isaac, I granted his request. He's down the corridor.
Thanks.
Did you tell him about Claire already?
No. I'm gonna tell him right now.
Good luck.
Yeah, remember, before we took off, Ryan, who was on board Hark Habitas and prepping that for launch, reported that there were Martian colonists trying to break down the door to the bridge. Probably not with peaceful intentions. Remember, the colonists left on Mars, led by Isaac, were the ones who had, killed everybody who suggested that it might be a good idea to return to Earth. Ryan never said exactly what happened. He just said that the situation had been taken care of.
Sit. Front row seats to a miracle. It took years for us to find the right biopolymer. Eventually someone found it. Now we can create nature. We're going to have to print a lot more than this if you want to save me. Strange. I just remember the day we were born. Probably don't know this, but I almost lost you and your mother that day.
Really?
Yeah. When Liz was giving birth, witnessing worst storms we'd ever seen. Rolling blackouts were a common occurrence. But this time the flood took out the hospital's generators. It wasn't exactly optimal, to say the least. You were born with an umbilical cord. Your umbilical cord wrapped around your neck. And your mum lost consciousness due to shock.
Jeez.
Yeah. I was just standing there in the corner, watching the nurses and doctors running around trying to save you both. I felt so useless. So utterly bound. When we get back to Earth, I'll take me away. We won't be together, you know that, Kathy.
I know.
I really did try to do what's best for humanity's survival.
That is true. He just fucked it up and made it worse for everybody.
No matter what we do, no matter how hard we try, we just can't seem to unite. We fight each other if we have a common enemy or a common goal. We disagree on how to overcome it. We become hateful in our rhetoric and destructive in our actions. We'll steal another man's bread if we're hungry, and we'll destroy their home if we want it for ourselves. doing this to each other, to ourselves, as if somehow personal gain always triumphs unity. What are we trying to save if we ourselves just end up destroying it? I really believed what I was doing was right. But then, who says you're right? Who gets to decide that?
It's good to hear your voice. What happened to the Unison colonists?
That, it's all worked out and, taken care of.
Good. I love you, Amzadi.
Ryan took care of them all right. Don't forget,
I love you too.
Ryan does not strike me as the kind of person who can easily live with the consequences of killing, and he's going to be alone with those bodies for the 6-month journey back to Earth on board Ark Habitats.
And even if there is a way of knowing that you're fighting for the true greater good, I mean, why do you have to fight for it in the first place? God, how do you stay strong through all that? How do you stay good?
Oh, problem with the bioprinter. What does that mean?
Believe this is what we should do. I hope you're right.
Hope springs eternal in the human breast.
What?
We can be better.
And so the game ends on a hopeful but pragmatic and realistic note. Except there's more. It's going to take them 6 months to get back to Earth with the technology required, hopefully, to save the planet. 6 months. It's going to be a long 6 months for Ryan, alone, on board Ark Habitats with the bodies of the people that he killed in order to get off Mars. And what about when they do get back to Earth? I mean, a hero's welcome for the surviving crew members of Mission Opera, but what about Isaac? The best thing he can look forward to is arrest and imprisonment for the rest of his life. And 6 months is a long time for him to figure out a way to weasel out of it.
Mission Control, this is Sarah Baker, Commander of Mission Opera. The mission was a success. We're returning to Earth. ETA is 6 months, 13 days, and 4 hours. Mission Control, please respond. This is our 3rd attempt to reach you. Are you there?
But what if there's nothing left to return to? I was wondering where they were going to go after this, because they're definitely going to do another sequel. So the first one was Deliver Us the Moon, the second one was Deliver Us Mars. People had speculated that the third game would be Deliver Us the Stars, but actually I think it's going to go right in the other direction. I think the third game is going to be Deliver Us the Earth, because it does not sound like things have been going well in our absence. And so that was Teenagers in Space. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Many of the issues that I had with the game, you know, some of the plot holes, ended up just not really being plot holes at all. The writers anticipated it. They let us think that something had gone wrong and then explained it later in a way that made sense and was believable. Similarly, the characters. I mean, the Mission Opera team were the most unlikely group of misfits, but the WSA was at the end of its tether. It was scraping the bottom of the barrel. Kat was obviously only included, not because she was the top graduate of astronaut school, but because she was Isaac Johansson's daughter and was going to be used as a bargaining chip against him. It all made sense. There were still a couple of holes in the science, which was kind of disappointing, but not that many. A lot of the science holes were explained, and that's fine. And the characters. Kat ended up doing the right thing. Sarah ended up being a great mission commander, rising above the psychological and physical wounds that she'd suffered at the hands of Isaac in the previous game. Put the team and the mission ahead of her own prejudices and actually showed compassion towards Isaac at the end. In my opinion, this has been an extremely well written game, and I'm very much looking forward to the sequel. The only disappointing thing is I'm probably going to have to wait 2 or 3 years for it. In the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this playthrough. I hope you're all having a great day, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.